Hey guys, Coach Keith Keppner here. We're going to do another fight study on Tyson's rise to the top, this time against James Quick Tillis, which is like a poor man's Ali. And one thing to note is that James is coming off of a few losses, one to Tyrell Biggs, but it's a good test for Mike and a good opportunity for him to build up experience. You see, of course, like I said, Tillis doing his movement similar to Ali, flicking that jab, circling off to the lead side. You see Tillis jabbing a little bit more at the chest of Tyson. Good control there by Tillis, making it difficult for Mike. And this is the type of guy where if Mike doesn't really know how to work on the inside, it makes it closer than it needs to be. Because, of course, like with a guy like Joe Frazier that fought Ali and gave Ali a very tough time, it was Frazier would not end up in this position of getting tied up like Tyson does as much. Good cutoff there by Tyson with the jabs. And this is where the jabbing and catching, though, becomes very important. Because if you're only moving your head as you're jabbing, when you move your head a lot, it can make it easy for someone to move off and away from you while you're doing that. Good job right here. Tyson has him in the corner working the right hook as Tillis goes to the right, breaking down the body because, again, this is a 10-round fight. So, therefore, it is important in any length of fight, whether it's 3 rounds or 4 rounds or 6 rounds or 8 or 10 or 12 or 15, to break down the body of a mover. And also, it's easier to hit. Good job trying to go up top for Tyson and back down to the body. Again, the whole idea of they move to your left, throw a left hook. They move to your right, come back with a right hand or a right hook. You can see Tillis making it difficult on the inside for Mike. One thing is Tillis does a little bit too much straight backward motion instead of hard circles. It'd be best for him to not even end up. But one thing he did there very good, Tillis did, is he tied up and walked Tyson back off the ropes. Very important strategy. Don't tie up and just stay on the ropes. Tie up and walk someone off the ropes so now you got more space behind you. Again, Tyson with his jab right hand, double jab right hand. And Tyson needs to be ready to cut off to Tyson's right side hard because that's where Tillis is moving. Similar to like when Sonny Liston fought Muhammad Ali in the first fight, how Liston or Ali would move only to his left mainly, and Liston wasn't able to cut it off. But Tyson is better with his movement than Liston was. Tyson honestly has more tools than I think Liston did. There, Tyson almost did a jab catch, even though that's not part of the system. Boom. See that? That's such an effective move. So important to do. Do not overly rely on head movement when you're a shorter fighter or any length of fighter, but specifically being a shorter fighter. Be able to utilize this so that therefore you can do that. You can attack. And there Tillis goes catching his jab. But so important, Mike didn't do it enough because it wasn't part of the peekaboo system. I think that's where I argue a more diversified and well-rounded system is better. Very good by Tillis. You see here Mike is going to slip off to that lead side. Tillis shoots that one shot, and he sees Mike kind of leaning off to that side. He shoots the right hand down. He doesn't get it, but he shoots it down for where he's going because of that predictable tick-tock pattern. Good job with Mike trying to get the uppercut on the inside and going back. Slip it in. That was real nice here. That left arm's extended. Mike slips past it to the right side, does a left hook, comes back with the overhand right, and then a left hook. Again, you got to love the intensity and the aggression of Mike. Nice. Good counter jab right there by Mike. Here, jab, boom. That half timing, one and good double right there. Oh, man, Mike is doing some catching. It's funny watching these fights again because it's been probably about 20 years since I've watched this fight. Boom. Look at that. So very important. And again, if Mike did more hand defense along with the head movement, he would be a more well-rounded fighter. Hey, real quick, if you have a second, go down to the description or to the top pinned comment because I have a form right there for you. The purpose of that is so I can get a better idea of where you are with boxing, where you're going, and use that information to make more laser focused content that is specifically made to help you. Of course, Mike had watched enough films, but there's the tie up. So, very important to know how to work out of a tie up. A lot of guys don't know how to do that. A lot of guys know how to tie up. They don't know how to work out of a tie up. Practice it. Tillis changing up his movement a little bit. Again, good job trying to come over the jab Mike does. But one problem when you're lunging in with punches, though, is it's easy to get too close and end up chest to chest. And then when you're chest to chest, it's easier to tie up and get smothered. The ref, I'm sure, is giving Tillis a warning. Probably maybe a point deduction is coming. I don't remember. It's been a long time I saw this fight. But again, holding by the referees, whatever the referee decides is excessive, is illegal. It was good. Tillis tried to spin off, but then Tyson tried to catch him, and Tillis blocked it. That's where a little bit more body work by Tyson would be beneficial at this point. Tyson's wanting those early statements with the knockouts. Good body there. And he needs to be a little bit more disciplined. Good counter body shot by Tillis. Shot the hook up top. Tillis got inside of it. This is where smothering punches is important, even if you're a taller guy. And then Tillis comes back with his good body shot right up the middle. And was there a... Whoopsie daisy. Hold on. Boom. Okay, cool. Was there a headbutt with it too? So the body shot and a headbutt same time. 2 for 1. Don't do that, but if it happens, it happens. Again, Tyson trying to rear up for the big shot, catching him stepping out. That's something that you can catch people with, but again, needs to be more disciplined with the body work. Again, the head movement gets predictable. And against a good enough fighter, which Tillis is starting to go up those levels as a fighter, or be up. Tyson's going up levels now, so therefore the better fighters are they able to catch the tick-tock, catch the slip to side. And that's why you need about 3, if not 5 ways to defend every punch. And utilize them so you don't create predictable patterns, again with the tie-up. And again, this is where a fight like this tells me that someone like Muhammad Ali would be able to beat a Mike Tyson, a prime Ali, against a prime Mike Tyson. Well, good body shot there by Mike, but again, Mike goes to reach his arms out. You can say that Tillis is holding him, but Mike right there has his arm out right there. He can bring his arm back to his body and not be tied up. It might be an unconscious thing he's doing. People do it because they're fighting and they get into kind of grappling. Good counter right hand there by Mike. Going in round 3. Mike gets high on that jab. Dangerous. Boom, like that. Makes him susceptible because of where his balance is for a counter right hand. Again, that slip to the side, predictable. Tillis knows where he's going. Knows he's going off that side. Mike sees he's trailing for him, and Mike tries to get away as he slips over there. And then Tillis turns him. That's the thing as well. Tillis turns, and it gets Mike out of position, right? So you stand right in front of a guy like Mike, he gets to be a little bit more set. But if you're turning off to your left side, that's where you get guys out of position. And now he slips to be off the line, but now you made him back on the line by your movement. Counter right hand by Tillis. Boom, bam. Look at that. Beautiful. Counter right hand by Tillis. Like I said, Mike's open for the right hand counters. It's been forever since I watched this, but I picked up seeing that. Oh, good left hook and uppercut attempt. Tillis could see it and dipped out, or stepped out. Good cutoff right now by Mike. See if he can cut this exit, not let Tillis get off to the right side. Good, he did. Now, but see, he does all this work Mike does, cutting him down, looking good. Tie up. When Tillis has that left arm around Mike's head, Mike needs to be doing those rights to the body. And then splitting up with uppercuts on the inside. Good movement there by Mike. Of course, he catches him, if I remember the highlights, a little bit later with the similar shot. Good slip by Mike, and that was a good example of head movement saving you from an uppercut. People don't think about slipping an uppercut, but right there, Tillis throws an uppercut. Mike slips to the left side, comes back with a great right hook to the body. But again, it's one punch. You have to punch a couple punches together. You have to put them together. You have to punch the code. It's not just one shot. Again, and one shot gets countered. Good attempt at a combination by Mike. Gets clipped coming in. Slips one. Did that right hand hit? Looked like it clipped him. Oh, it just missed him. Never mind. Happened so fast, and with the bad film, it's hard to tell. Happy I kept myself honest on that one. Nice. Tillis tried to get that counter right again. And again, smart move by Tillis. He ends up on the ropes. Boom. Doesn't stay there and be sat there to hit. He could tie up, but he also smothers in now. Right? See that? Smothers in. Ends up in a spot where now he's pushing the puncher back. And it's hard to throw stepping back. You can do it, but it's hard to do. You need to practice to do it. And it's hard for someone to change the momentum if they're used to coming forward and essentially leaping in with punches a lot, which is what Mike Tyson does, which helps him generate some of the power he generates, along with the rotation. Okay, there Mike tries to weave his way in. But again, all that work for that. That's where the jab allows you a little bit of a buffer space, right? You jab the chest. It allows you a little bit of space if you come in behind that jab so that you physically can't get that close. Nice work at the attempt of the combination by Mike. You got to give Mike a lot of credit for that one. Right hook to body, right uppercut, boom, hook. He got the body shot. Oh, and now he put a few together. Oh, here's this classic scene here. But see, it's left, right. Tyson just twisting and throwing hooks while Tillis is running those straights. And what's brilliant about this as well is that because Tillis is shooting straights, it defends some of those hooks. And helps him roll a little bit with those hooks. Nice uppercut counter by Tillis. Again, it's been a long time since I watched this fight. When I first watched this fight, I was only like a couple years into boxing. Good cutoff again by Mike. But again, caught in a position where it's both guys that are making some of these moments dull. Great combo there by Mike. Something about this combo, though. So Mike throws it, and he's just in a pure square position, looking at him, waiting to see what happens. Boom. Almost got hit with that. Just a little bit of lack of aim on Mike's regard. And something good by Tillis. Even though Tillis falls out of position, he sets the throw. Boom, boom. Control with the forearm right there. Boom, boom. Control, turn. Again, think about how much he's turning Tyson when Tyson's attacking. It makes it hard for Tyson to get off. Good with the jab by Mike. A double jab. Here. Boom, boom. Gets the second jab. Didn't land the first and then second, but then he keeps coming in. Boom, steps in to too close. And reaches his arms out. He needs to keep his elbows in as he comes in and when he gets close. Nice 1-2 and angle off. Good counter left hook by Tillis. And then he goes to shut him down. And this is where, when you do a slight step back, Mike, if you did that, it would be harder for Tillis to get the hold, and Tillis would be open as he's trying to hold. So you get your little combo off, you take a little half step back, the guy reaches out, you're able to get more off. Dangerous doing the lead hook like that, Tillis against Tyson, but if he does it sparingly, it's going to be hard for Tyson to time it. And this is, again, where Tyson isn't truly a accomplished inside fighter. Because if he was, he'd be able to work through this a little bit more, like how Frazier would do against Ali. And again, a true great inside fighter is very hard to come by. A lot of what people say is inside fighting is not really inside fighting. One thing to think about, Mike has his glove right here. See that left glove right there? Right under Tillis' jaw. He can pop that jaw up with an uppercut, left uppercut. It's not going to be the most powerful thing in the world, but it's enough to disrupt. He turns his body with it, pops it up, throws another punch afterwards or a few punches afterwards. Your fist is on the guy's face. You can throw. But when the challenge is with trying to throw massive power all the time like Tyson does, or feeling like you need that space to punch, which Mike does feel like he needs that space to punch, so you can tell, oh, here's that highlight, then it's going to be hard to get off because you want everything to be that big shot. See, we just breezed right by the highlight reel because whatever. You know, Mike moving his head. Yes, we all know. Good example there of something that kills short guys. Boom, he slips off and Tillis goes, because Mike expected the jab. Tillis just does the lead hook and Mike drops right into it. Again, this is becoming almost like a James Tillis fight study. But Mike's putting the pressure on. He's being aggressive. But you also see why Tyson had trouble in the amateurs. Or, yeah, why he didn't get to the pinnacle as an amateur. He got close to it. Nice check hook there by Tillis. Again, we need those combinations, putting those punches together by Mike. There you go. That's that classic. That knockdown helps a lot for Tyson with the fight. Slip, boom. Good poise there by Mike. So here Tillis does that lead hook. Thinks he's going to catch Mike. Mike goes super deep. Tillis not on the best balance, and this is why balance is so important. Ends up in a position like this, and Mike is ready to get that hook off. Tillis isn't really hurt by that punch. It dropped him, but getting dropped and really getting hurt are two different things. End of the round. Good timing for Tillis. Here. Very good. Again, Mike goes real low. Nice. And let's look at Mike's beautiful hook. I know it's like the first thing I'm going to say nice about Mike in this thing, in this study, but look at that. Palm facing him, hitting with the knuckles like that. Elbow below the fist. That's why it was a good hook. That's why it did what it did. Again, Mike is very young, right? That's the thing, is you don't have the maturity. As a young guy, his brain isn't even fully developed to its full capabilities. Nice short shots there by Tyson. See, we need a lot more of that. A lot more of stuff like that. Putting the shots together almost like a Sugar Ray Leonard might. Not that Sugar Ray was a great inside fighter, but he was able to put snappy shots together and it wasn't this massive load up on everything. Good head movement by Mike. He shoots that uppercut. Because it was there. It's a few inches not there. Goes under the counter. Tries to come back with a great left hook. But notice how, because Tillis had his jaw behind that right hand, I believe that left hook ends up hitting the shoulder of Tillis. Yep. Boom. A classic example of keeping the chin down while you're shooting a right hand and how that can block a hook a lot of the time. Beautiful body shot by Mike again. And those body shots will slow you down. Those body shots will stop a lot of guys. Oh, it slid around a little bit. Again, this is where it's like, man, if we had HD back then, right? I guess you could AI generate this thing and make it even higher quality, or even higher quality. This is bad quality, but make it good quality. Make it 4K or whatever. There it is. Tillis again with that hand around the head, like Ali would do. Some people will get called for that. It's a tactic that's good if you can get away with it for yourself to shut somebody down. But again, when someone does that, that's where you need those right hooks for the body to beat them down, make them not want to hold you on that. Tyson gets hit by that right hand being a little high. Right here, high. Boom. Tyson has that thick neck, and that's helpful, though. Very important to work your neck. Good attempt by Tillis with the combination. Steps back with a combo. And you can start to see the seeds of how Tyson will be beat by Douglas. Because, again, Tyson is prepared for this fight. And of course, in that fight, he wasn't as prepared. And so against an even better guy and less prepared, that's where we got the result that we got. See, Tyson's going against a good boxer here, and you see there's not like a lot. There's good things that Tyson's doing, but there's not like a lot of great things to talk about, which, again, nice counter there by Tillis, is why I'm not the biggest Mike Tyson fanboy like I used to be. Being a true student of boxing and a boxing coach, I look for things that are going to be most helpful to my people to watch, for my boxers to watch. And it's not always going to be Mike. It's not going to be always anybody, but there's a lot of limitations, a lot of mythology about how great he is. And, I mean, he did great things. I mean, heavyweight champion, everything else, youngest, all that. A lot to, oh, wow, that was a big liver shot. The body shots, that's something we can learn from Mike. Right here, look at this. Oh, my gosh. Tillis is tough and prepared. Look at that. Great body shot. Look at the placement. Look how it's thrown. Look at the arm. That's how you need to throw your body shots. Let Mike show you how it's done. Boom. And great again with the body shot. But what I don't like is that Mike's kind of tanked out after that. There's delays. He just beat down that body really hard. Let's rack it back up with the head with a little bit less power on the head shots to then maybe set up another body shot. Run the hands. Again, I'm very big on throwing hard and the importance of throwing hard, knowing how to throw hard and learning how to throw harder. But also you need to learn how to throw with the least amount of energy. So throw maximally with the least amount of energy possible. And then also being able to throw sub-power shots as well to add in variety. It's that analogy I talk about where if I reach in my pocket, sometimes I pull out a gun out of my pocket and I shoot at you with it. Or sometimes I pull out a cell phone. You're going to be nervous every time I reach in my pocket. Same thing with the punch. If the punch is powerful like that, good left hook to the body, a little off balance, but good connection. If every time, or if you throw a punch and you hurt someone with it and they feel the power on it, then every time you move your arms and throw any type of punch, they're in their mind like, man, is that the power shot? So again, Tyson walking in. Boring in, but he's lacking the inside work that like a Chavez Sr. might have with this type of walk down. And again, accepting the tie-up. He gets in, and he kind of shuts down. You need to be in, throw short punches, know how to throw short punches, which Tyson does know how to throw short punches, but there's a disconnect, or take the little half step back. So good body shot there. Little half step back right now. Little half step back. There's nothing holding them. There's nothing holding them. You could say that's holding him. It's not. That's an easy little pull out. With these gloves on with some sweat, that's an easy little pull out. Anyone that does any type of grappling, any type, that's easy. Easy. Tyson trying to block because, again, using your head all the time is very energy intensive. Here, Tyson sliding over a jab with a right hand. Really nicely done. So great to be able to throw while someone throws. Remember, that's the time most people are the most open, is when they're throwing. Again, we're in the same spot. How many times? Many times. Tyson working the jab now. It's one thing about Tyson with the slips is you could say it's less energy on the legs. That's true. But the hard torso bend. I like some torso bend off, but the hard torso bend does make it hard to deliver shots off of. Versus a little bit more of a bending the knee and twisting the body, especially to the left side. A little torso bend to the right side for the slip to the right side, but that hard whip over with the torso to the left, not the biggest fan of it. Oh, beautiful counter again by Tillis. Shoots that jab. Nothing coming after the jab. Tyson sees the right hand coming. Doesn't have a defensive reaction to it. Puts the chin down, which takes a little bit off of the right hand. But good right hand by Tillis, and then he holds. Shuts him down. Hit him and tie him up. Hit him and tie him up. That's why that was good. That's what a lot of guys teach the long guys, and it's a good move. Flip, boom, body shot. Look at that, how Tyson kind of crouches, gets ready to go, and then Tillis is lighting him up with punches. 2 punches before Tyson lets off ba. Finishes with the jab. That was good by Mike. Again, see, Mike is used to just like the idea, I'm going to bang you out because I'm powerful. And it's a blessing and a curse. It's a blessing and a curse. But of course, what makes being powerful so dangerous is that you have to be right every moment. If you're not right for a moment going against a powerful guy, your butt's going to hit the canvas. Tillis back with that movement with the double triple jab again. So therefore when Mike moves his head and you jab off to the side on someone moving their head like that, they're out of position bad, and that's going to happen. Boom, boom. See that? We saw it happen before. We're seeing it happen again. Needed a step on that jab. So we're here. Whoa. Like that. Again, Tillis is moving, though, so Mike's kind of out of position. Makes it hard. But if Mike can, he should have stepped with it. But because Tillis was moving, got him out of position. Remember that. Circle with your jab, guys. Circle with your jab when you're more of the Tillis type. Or going against anyone that is the type of powerful guy like Mike. Again, beautiful with the right hand. It's been 20 years, I think, since I've watched this. But I saw the right hands opening early, and they're there. And an even better fighter could have got more of them. Ali would have got him a lot. Oh, man, he missed it. It looked like it got it. But no, it looks like it just right below the jaw. He's aiming for the jaw. I think you probably expect him to get down a little bit. But again, those rights are there for him. Specifically after Mike's jab. Right there. Yep, not allowed to push off. Oh, nice by Mike. Coming back with that left hook. But again, Tillis is moving in such a fashion that he's getting away from that left hook. Moving off to Tillis' left side, therefore gets away from Tyson's left hook. Something, too, is that Mike doesn't really quite have a rhythm, which it's not required, but it can be helpful. Think about contrasted with like a Joe Frazier. There, Mike. See, and this is a good example of what Mike needs to do. He shot a jab. He got kind of interrupted. Good jab to body. He shot a jab right here, and then got interrupted by Tillis doing some things. But still, the jab followed by a combination. It's very helpful, and that's what sets that up. It's very simple sometimes what's needed to be done, and a lot of times it's just a jab or a few jabs in a combination. And that makes it hard to hold. When someone's throwing at you, it can be harder to tie them up. When someone just comes in and presses themselves into you and reaches out with their arms a little bit, it can be really easy to tie up. Again, Tillis with the turning, making it very hard for Tyson to get set specifically off of head movement. When you're moving your head to come in and someone's moving laterally on you, it's hard to stay in position. It's hard to feel in a position like you can hit. Now, great job by Mike here. He, just got what he could get, expecting Tillis to go off that left side. Smart move by Mike. Here, boom, great right hook. Look at that. Nice right hook. Hurt Tillis. This is where Mike needs space. Man, Tillis is very lucky Mike doesn't have the accuracy on that uppercut. Because that uppercut, I can see why Mike thinks it's going to land. And because it looks like it's there, but it's just not quite in the range for it. Mike needs to actually be a little closer when he throws the uppercut, believe it or not. Oh, good. Oh, my gosh. Good body shot. Look at that. Look at this. Oh. And that would have been the time to do the uppercut. Yeah, he's trying to do the uppercut at a mid-range so he can get full torque on it. But that's not going to be the range, apparently, that it's going to really land at least so far in this fight. Tillis letting off the punches. Firing off. Great round. First time he's fought past 6 rounds. Good test for Mike. Kind of on the hip. That's why, by the way, it's important to have cups that have good hip protection. I downplayed that, as most guys do. But when you got someone that hits hard with smaller gloves, hits you on the hip, it can freeze your hip up and therefore affect your movement. Man. So again, if Mike was just a little bit closer, right, 2 inches, would have got that off. See, real quick, this happens. Guys go after a guy, see him reach out with his hands. This is why I'm so anti a lot of things. Why? Not because I like to crap on people's fun, but when people focus a lot while people are developing boxing technique on trapping hands and things like that and all this other guard manipulation stuff, people do this stuff anyway. Mike never worked on guard manipulation. I can promise you that. But here he goes going after Tillis. And as he goes after Tillis, he reaches out with his glove because that's just a natural thing that happens when you're fighting people. You have to see he's reaching out with both of his gloves. That's one reason why he gets tied up. It's not a good defensive place to be. And I see so many guys do this. And it's not because they train to do it. It's because it's a natural thing. So you have to untrain yourself to do it. So therefore, that's why I'm pretty anti working a lot of time or almost any time on trapping hands and all this other stuff when a trap can be accomplished by a punch. That if they don't block the trap or the punch will hit them and it will score and it might hurt them. So reaches out and look at that. He gets pieced up a little bit. A couple of short, little small shots. Tillis turns them. Bam. Reaching out with the hands. And again, I'm passionate about it because I would do the same stuff. I would do the same stuff, and I was nowhere near as good as Mike Tyson. All right? So it's not like I'm trying to crap on Mike Tyson here, guys. I'm just saying, word to the wise. Tillis tried to get the right hand again, but Tyson has got the big shoulders, pop his shoulder up with a jab, and didn't get hit by it. That's good. Tillis jabbing different places. You notice that? Something to watch for. He's definitely doing it, jabbing for one side, the other side, because of Mike's TikTok movement tendencies. He jabbed a little lower on that one. Tyson trying to counter with a jab, but just a single jab's not enough. That was good by Mike. Here. Tillis jab. Mike jab. And then does another jab again with a slip, but because of Tillis' lateral movement to the left, he gets past the jab to the body. Then Tillis comes back. Tyson actually catches or blocks the jab. Nice by Tillis. Ooh! Goes for that body. Think about it. Now Mike's thinking about the body. So you hit someone with that body shot like that, now they're thinking about the body. Next time you lead, boom. And again, a good hook by Tillis. Palm facing him, elbow down. Look at that. Is that a special hook? No, that's a standard boxing hook. And if you actually knew something about boxing, you would throw your hooks like that. Nice. And remember, it behooves Tillis to smother his range in that sequence because Tyson won't get off. Versus a good inside fighter might get off, and therefore you need to do the in and out game more. But Tyson would like the in and out game because that allows him to do what? To lunge in with his punches. And not a fan of Tyson because, again, of trying to be explosive. He ends up in this position like that as he's jabbing. Very straight up. Did it again, but good slip-in jab. That's a very quick head movement by Mike. Here, slips there to the inside. Does the jab. Doesn't cover much ground. Tries to do another jab. He should have done another one. Do a few more. Tillis was not in position for it. So often when you throw punches at people, they count on you to only do it once or only do a couple. And their movement patterns are based off of the anticipation of you only doing that amount. But when you do more than they expect, that's when you nail them. That's one reason why jabbing out at the end works so well. Good double jab there by Tillis. Because someone expects you to throw a combo and stop. You throw a combo, jab, jab, jab. They ain't going to expect a jab, jab, jab. Again, good attempt by Tillis on the right hand. Again, so many of these shots are missing by an inch by both guys. I think Tillis might have got that one. Tyson got a right hand back in on him. That's, again, where I wish this was better quality. Better quality video, that is. But I appreciate Ringside Videos for putting it up so that we can study it. And you get to do what me and my father did, which is go through and watch all these fights. Every night we'd watch these fights. Different fights, different guys. Sometimes Tyson, sometimes other guys, but pretty quickly, became diminishing returns for Tyson. Oh, nice. There we go. Tillis got a nice right hand counter there. Jab. Needs to expect the counter. He's looking. Boom. And then too close, gets wrapped up. And now see, Tillis is sometimes smothering, sometimes stepping out now. And that's what makes the range hard to gauge on Tyson. Because also think about this too. You're trying to get after this guy, right? Trying to get in. Then when you get in, you're like, what the hell do I do? And that it takes a lot of practice to be able to work on the inside. But again, think about this. It's hard for Tyson to drill on the outside because he's so powerful. So I bet you if you stuck him in that tire drill, which I'm not a big fan of the tire drill, like both people put their feet in the tire. But what I do like is cordoning off the ring or tying two people to each other, right? Tying their hips to each other. You put a guy like Mike in there, he's going to tear through so many sparring partners and damage so many guys versus hey, Mike, let's pull it down to 75%, 60%, and let's work on throwing some punches on the inside. But again, also too, when you're a heavyweight, you just have naturally more velocity behind your punches or more weight behind your punches. More momentum is going to get created because of your weight. And so it can be hard to control the power. Can be, but not absolute. Good lateral movement changes by Tillis. Wait for Tillis to finish with the jab. That's good. Again, there you go. And back to the wrap-up again. And that's where Mike needs to take that little half step back and throw a combination. And again, think about how much Tyson just walks in without really much. Walks in and doesn't get something off when he's in, or doesn't use something to come in. And that's where Tillis has done some things to make Mike a little hesitant about jabbing with that counter right hand over the top. Good job putting the head in there by Mike. There, Mike goes down for the body there. That was good. Right here, right hook to the body. See, Tillis got out of there. Oh, good by Tillis. See that one again by Tillis. Mike does that jam. Don't know how well it landed, but a nice attempt, though. Good job going down for the body again. Because, again, a guy that relies a lot on head movement, if you work his body a lot, it discourages him. A guy that relies on head movement wants that. He wants people to chase his head.
Hey, real quick, if you have a second, go down to the description or to the top pinned comment because I have a form right there for you. The purpose of that is so I can get a better idea of where you are with boxing, where you're going, and use that information to make more laser-focused content that is specifically made to help you.
Allows you to get out of position and him to get in position to get his shots off. But what I will say is look how sweet and little this head movement was in the sense of right at this point when it slides right over. Now he went a little bit deeper afterwards, but man, real good. I guess Tillis doesn't get a point taken away in this fight. There, Tyson tries some shorter shots. Very square on the inside, though. And being square on the inside can actually make it hard to throw punches on the inside. Right? Oh, it's totally counterintuitive to everything some people have said or that you've heard people say. But yes, think about it. If you put your left shoulder into somebody, now you automatically have more space to throw your right hand than if you put your chest into someone. Does that make sense? Think about it. Now, granted, you could say it mutes away the left arm, but that's where you just move your head over to the left side, open up your torso a little bit. Now you create some space for that. But if you're just chest to chest square on the inside, yes, you, in theory, can sometimes like let more shots off in certain ways, but it's much more susceptible to being too close. Or and so close that you're literally chest to chest, which is pretty hard to throw inside punches chest to chest on somebody, right? But if you get chest to chest and square on someone that wants to tie you up, that's an easy tie up. There you go. Tillis over with the right hand again, going down to the body. Mike trying to do the TikTok head movement. Mike getting wrapped up. This is good, great to watch. Great to watch and great for us to go through and study. To see the good, to see the bad, to see the ugly, to see the in-between, to see the advantages, see the limitations. I'm all about taking away the myth of everybody. We are all humans. We should not be glorified or deified, but rather simplified to what we truly are, which is all just people. See, Mike does that slipping in and nothing happened. Trying to keep those hands tight to himself. Trying to be a good student of peekaboo. Good job coming over the left hook. Tillis knows where that TikTok's going. And even though with that, though, Tyson catches him with that beautiful jab. The jab is one of the greatest counters, one of the most underutilized counters. If you want to be a great counter puncher, learn how to counter with your jab. If you're long, if you're short, if you're skinny, if you're fat, counter with your jab. Know how to counter with a jab. By the way, great rotation there by Mike. How often, again, I'm going to touch on every single one here. How often when you shadow box, do you throw a punch like that? Like that. When you start shadow boxing, because I know you will, or when you're ready to start throwing hard, start shadow boxing, rotating your body like we're just seeing Mike here do. And trust me, you will build up very extreme power. Look how much he rotated on that freaking hook right there. Tillis is lucky that didn't land. Big rotation. He rode with it. Rode with that just by a fraction, by a hair. Gosh. Boxing is a game of inches. There, Tillis goes again, and good job by Mike, but good by both guys, right? So here, Tillis shoots that right hand down for where Mike is going. Pinpoint accuracy. He's been to bend hard at the waist like that. You know exactly where he's going. He's been doing it for round after round. And then Mike, from that position, boom, launches the shot. Good by both men, and Tillis was standing there looking at him. Should have gone back to pepper him with the jab, right? Right there. So let's evaluate what could be better, right? Obviously, Tyson having something else besides that, but good by Tillis to shoot off for where he tends to dip down to. But then Tillis, instead of using that jab to pop, put more sand in his face, boom, just looking at him. Gets hit with the left hook or a jab. Really like a southpaw left hand. Excuse my camera being goofy there. Yeah, the assumption with peekaboo and how the head movement is that someone will shoot for where your head was at, oftentimes, and assuming that they're not going to shoot for where your head's going to be. Nice by Tyson trying to let off a combination on the way back. That was good. That was very good. Camera being funky. Oh, man. Good by Mike there. Well, that was the end of the fight. All right. Well, that was a good study there. We got to see all the pieces for where there are holes. Starting to, because again, think about it too. The more rounds you fight, the more there are opportunities for holes to get exposed and revealed. Hope you enjoyed this, guys. Coach Keith Keppner here signing off. Watch out for the next one. And I enjoy spending this time with you guys. Later.